Hi, my name is Thomas and welcome to my first video on 3D printing. In this video we will actually be unboxing my first 3D printer. My actual printing experience today consists of one class at the local tech shop where I printed this table wedge. Now, this is not the first printer I ordered, it is just the first printer that has arrived. I did pre-order a Zortrax Inventure back in December and it should arrive sometime late February, early March. The Inventure is a completely closed source printer, however, and I wanted something I could play with a little bit more, and once the Inventure arrives I wanted something to compare it to. So I settled on the M3D Micro. The reviews were pretty good, and so was the cost. I mean, if I screw something up, I'm only out a few $100. Now I did do a couple of things specifically because I knew I would be making this video. First, I ordered directly from M3D rather than, say, Amazon, so I could evaluate the response and service. And second, at a $100 premium, I ordered their retail version rather than their standard version. This way I hope to convey the differences and maybe help you determine which might be the better printer for you. Also, I haven't seen any retail models show up on YouTube yet, so I hope this is the first. Now, before I open this up, I do want to talk a little bit about the differences between the two units as M3D describes them. According to their website, the retail version has dozens of quality improvements. Comes in a nicer box with a free spool of filament and carries a 1-year warranty. This improves on the standard printer's plain brown box, 3-month warranty, no free spool of filament, and of course lacking the dozens of better parts. After adding $100, the retail version comes in at $449 USD. So is it worth it? I think that is a good question. A free spool of filament is nice, and a 1-year warranty seems good, but if you back out the cost of the filament, you're still left spending an extra $86, and you probably don't want to spend that much for a 9-month warranty. Not to give you any unsolicited financial advice, but as a general rule, you probably shouldn't pay 25% of the cost of an item for a warranty lasting less than a year. Imagine purchasing a $40,000 vehicle and spending $10,000 to extend the warranty just 9 months. Now I think if there is any real value here, it's going to have to lie in the dozens of improvements that M3D claimed they made. Hopefully, this printer is going to last longer, print better, and have fewer issues. Anyway, because the salient difference between the two units is in the improvements, I pressed M3D to give me a little more detail so that I could pass that on to you. And that gives us a little something else to go over, the quality of their support, or at least what I can make of it from my limited experience. I looked up their technical support online, and it seemed that if you had some trouble or a question, you had to submit a note online, and they would get back to you. So I sent them a note the day after I ordered my printer, asking for a better description of the improvements, and they promptly responded that they would be getting back to me in about 3 to 5 days. That was a little troubling. I imagined contacting them after I had first tried to set up my printer unsuccessfully. I'm all excited, and now I just need to wait a week or so to get a reply to my email. Anyway, they sent another note a couple of days later saying that they were sorry that they hadn't had time to get to me yet, but they would be following up soon. And sure enough, 2 days later, I heard back again with a note directing me to the web page I had quoted in my original question. I wrote back again asking for more information, and this time they did respond the same day, and here's what they said. In the retail edition, we are constantly upgrading parts to the Micro to make its performance the highest it can be. We do this by upgrading parts such as motors, fans, belts, etc. Also, the 1-year warranty is a big deal in the 3D printing, so if you are a beginner, then we highly recommend the retail edition. If you're an expert, I would recommend saving some money and purchasing the standard edition. So they are claiming to have used better parts in the retail version, and hopefully that will make for a better printer and a better printing experience. 2 other notes. First, recently I went to their website, and on one of their main pages I did see both chat and phone contact options. So if you have a problem or a question, you might try there for support before going to the technical section. And second, their website does say that you won't be able to get the standard Micro at the $349 price for much longer. So if you do want to save $100 and you don't put much stock in the dozens of improvements or the extended warranty, you should probably order it pretty soon. I'm assuming that they just have a bunch of these pre-upgrade units and they're just going to sell them until they're gone. Okay, after all that, I think now we can get down to the good part. Let's get this box open. All right, here we go. take off the outer box first. First of all, it's a little bit smaller than I kind of expected. Here is the package contents. I got the printer. I ordered 4 separate rolls of filament. It'll come with a USB cable and a power adapter. They fit the spools of filament in right next to the box. They're fairly small as well. And all 5 of them are here. And here's the retail package we paid so much for. Our USB cable, power cable, and here's the printer, all wrapped up in bubble wrap. And it certainly is a nice box. It'll look good on the store shelves. Another layer of protective padding. This is kind of a non-gummy tape, the way their videos describe it, so it shouldn't leave any residue. Instruction manual, and we'll pull some of this tape off. It certainly does look good. I mean, it's shiny, it feels solid, it's very light, it's very small. It'll be interesting to see how it prints. This was just to keep this part getting scratched. And the tape does adhere awfully well. And this will be a little trickier here. Trying to keep it off the belts and stuff. Yeah, there we go. Looks like another one around the print head. They do mention that these have to come out, and these are obviously printed on the 3D printer. And then looks like finally once we plug it in, we'll probably go ahead and elevate this and take this last piece of tape off. I do know that one of the rolls of filament, I believe, fits under here, and then you can see it'll feed itself out here and up and into the print head. So all around, nice little box. Came out well. No damage in shipping, and I'm excited to use it. Okay, I'm going to apologize for that right now. I took a look at that. Obviously I had the wrong backdrop to display a black printer. Also the light wasn't good. I have laid out some of the material that came in the packing. I've laid that out to give you kind of a white backdrop behind the printer. I'm going to try and go over everything really quickly so you can get kind of one last look at it. Hopefully this will turn out a lot better. Like I said, I got better light and a white backdrop now. As far as the printer goes, quality control wise, I think everything came out really well. I don't see any real scratches. It weathered the shipping really well. You saw how well it was packed in bubble wrap and stuff. Just don't think you need to be concerned about anything happened to it in transit. The other thing is, as far as they manufactured it, that seems nearly flawless. You may not be able to notice, but I do see some scratches up in here where they put the clear plastic into this black plastic. I have a feeling there's a light back in there. When you plug it in, it's probably going to shine out, so that'll be nice. And again, not really very important. Overall, it looks like it's solid and it looks like it's put together the way it was supposed to be. I'm not sure if you can see really well, but here are the belts. Those are one of the items they claim to have upgraded from the standard edition. Also, you're obviously going to have a fan and a motor in here. Those would have been upgraded. Dozens of quality improvements. So it'd be interesting to know what else there is. Some of these, some of these screws or whatever might be of higher quality. I'm not really sure. We'll just have to kind of take their word for it that this is going to be a better, more solid printer than the standard version. I don't know if you can differentiate the build platform from the rest of the printer, but this would come up, and underneath is where the spools of filament would go. They're going to go underneath there, hopefully spin very freely, and feed out here right into the print head, and obviously it'll print from there. That's really nice, compact, and clean. I will say about the filament, I ordered 4 that I paid for and got 1 for free with the unit since it was the retail version. Only one of them did not sort of pierce its packaging. It's really important to keep these away from humidity, to keep them dry, so I would think it'd be really important to go ahead and keep them in their packaging and keep that packaging sealed until you're ready to use it. So that didn't make me particularly happy. It's not the end of the world. They might want to increase the size of this plastic bag so that you don't have quite as much, so it doesn't pull right over these sort of sharp edges of the spool. As I said, only 1 out of 5, or 20% of it, made it through without, ripping up. As I showed you yesterday, the box, nice and clean, well done. Overall, the entire presentation is really clean and crisp. It just comes out really well. It's really pretty impressive. I think when these hit store shelves and you kind of see this out and you see the boxes that you can grab, you're going to be impressed, and I think you're going to have that sort of initial confidence in the unit. Power adapter. The power adapter is about 6 feet long, so you'll need to be within 6 foot of your power source, whether that's some sort of surge protector or wall outlet. And this USB cable plugs into obviously your computer and the printer. Is about 3.5 feet long, so you'll need to be within about 3.5 feet of your computer. Last bit is the user manual. The user manual, again, keeping with the rest of the presentation, really crisp, really easy to follow, has good diagrams, good pictures, web addresses where needed, where to go for your download as far as the software goes, stuff like that. Easy to follow, easy to read. It's not an onerous user manual. I think you'll have no problem figuring it out. I don't think I'm going to have any problem figuring out the printer and getting to work with it. So I'm truly excited to get going. Hopefully this has helped you get a feel for what you might be getting, especially since right now there's a best chance you'll be ordering it offline. So hopefully this can help you, like I said, figure out if this is the right printer for you. It's certainly at a good cost, so I think it's easy to go ahead and sort of commit to it with the feeling that if it isn't perfect, you're kind of okay with that, because if you're like me, you're just getting started in this 3D printing world. So thanks very much for watching. Hopefully it's helped.